Yes, of course, finalist here as well in 07 was Sharapova. She was beaten by Serena 1 and 2.
Thank you.
Predominantly down the middle. Serve. Came back to win it the following year. She beat Ivanovic without dropping a set to Sharapova, but she is really on a hammering here at the moment.
Under the cosh. Thomas Hogstedt was just seen saying to Sharapova, you've got to move forward, you're too far back. He was signing to her. I don't know how she can move any further in at the moment.
That would change things up if she actually went enough forward to the net.
Maybe a shock tactic for Sharapova. I don't know how many times she'd get away with it, mind.
Brings back the conversation about how many tools in the bag, doesn't it? Lack of play at the net. Drop shots. Anything different.
Late again on the ball as it came to her. The pace is beating her. I am actually amazed how hard Azarenka is hitting the ball, especially off the backhand side. Well, two returns that she tried to step in and sort of step into court and gain the advantage in the rally, but she just can't control it enough.
She looks a little lost, doesn't she, Sharapova? Surprisingly. Right on the line.
Well, there you go. I guess she's not going to stop trying to do it. And that one came off.
Again, side to side, keeping Sharapova at full stretch. And Azarenka extends the lead. Set and 4-love now.
Azarenka leads 4 games to love.
Well, she looks very relaxed, I have to say. She needs to keep in the zone, though.
She must be getting so excited on the inside.
Don't think about it, you know, all the time to herself. Just keep doing what you're doing. Huge, isn't it? #1 in the world and your first Grand Slam.
Yeah. Has to win this service game, Sharapova, as the Prime Minister looks on.
Oh, well, how well is Azarenka moving, too? And there was a bombardment from Sharapova onto her forehand.
Very difficult to have envisaged this sort of scoreline.
Yeah.
It's almost a bit of shock in the audience, I think. Oh, close.
Thought that was in.
On the right far sideline.
Had a play on it, Azarenka, so it'll be a first serve again. But the point was won, really, if it is in. Yeah. That's tough on Sharapova. Really tough.
Yeah.
Lot 15.
It's a hot evening, but that gentleman's feeling rather cool right now. Well done. Maybe she can
15.
clutch onto that.
Yep. Well, anything she will, you know. She'll still be very determined to turn this match around. I really admire Sharapova's spirit. She always plays every point the same.
Yeah. 15.
It was late, the call again, though. Azarenka challenging.
Ball was called out.
I think it tempts you into a challenge, though. Oh, well, good
Wow.
one.
Again, you understand why the call was late.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she can't argue this case. Sharapova had a play on it.
Yeah.
No, this is now a little silly.
You agree that the call was late? Possibly a little bit late, but I didn't hear the bell.
She's saying the call was late, so Sharapova had played the shot, therefore it didn't interfere.
Not the time to argue. I actually think she's got quite a good point. But keep focused, you know. Don't get carried away.
Just showing everybody how to take on and beat Maria Sharapova. This is clinical.
It was a great shot. Very strange noise there coming from Azarenka. It started the crowd laughing a little. Just tell with the breathing that she is a little tight, but you'd never know it from the tennis. Fabulous. Amazing. Sharapova is trying to step up to the baseline to hit her shots, but Azarenka's consistency of depth is amazing.
2 more break points. 4 from 5 converted for Azarenka. Sharapova's only won 3 points on serve this set. It's long again. Quite amazing. 11 of the last 12 games now for Azarenka. She's on the verge of her first major triumph. The finishing touches required for Azarenka, serving for the Australian Open at a 7-5 love.
Well, that didn't look nervous at all. Huge serve, confident second shot. Oh, Azarenka came off the pace just a touch, and straight away Sharapova up the court.
Let's trust.
Wow.
Well, that's just about every point has to be like this for Sharapova.
The moment she doesn't get with Azarenka, the moment Maria's not on the run, it's a different point entirely.
Oh, fantastic. Talk about confidence.
She has that enormous come on, and then she seems to deliberately relax her face and herself after that, so she doesn't over-try. A bit of luck certainly helps at this stage.
13-40.
A lifeline point for the former champion.
Yes.
Well, I thought Azarenka might just start getting very tight, 30-40. She's trying to serve this match out, but another confident rally from her.
Classic V-play sets up championship point. sinks to her knees. The crowd rise. The tears flow for Victoria Azarenka in her first major final. Not even she could believe that she was going to beat the former champion, the former world #1, 6-3, 6-love. 12 of the last 13 games. She is now the new world #1 and a major winner. Terrific performance, Joe. The Australian Open champion 2012.
That's the most accomplished win that I've seen from a first-timer to win a Grand Slam. And hasn't her coach helped her over the last couple of years to manage herself so well on the court? What tennis she played. I was astounding. Absolutely brilliant.
Emotional scenes with the nearest and dearest.
now she can believe it, I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, our presentation will be underway very shortly here on the centre court.
Tough for Sharapova. Such joy for her when she surprised the world of tennis, becoming the Wimbledon champion in 2004. The stunning victory over Serena Williams. And this has stunned everybody here. But she'll be back, Sharapova. Let's hope so. There's plenty more tennis left in the Russian.
Well, thanks to Chris and Joe. What a devastating scoreline. And Azarenka, it's going to take a while for this to sink in. How on earth did she achieve that, Virginia? Was it her strengths? Was it mental weaknesses, and in particular the service of Maria Sharapova?
No, she was just dynamite today, Victoria. And she was hitting the ball earlier off the ground, half volleying much more. Maria just needs a little bit more time to hit the ball. She couldn't put her foot wrong, and she was quick today. And her anticipation was phenomenal. So Maria had no options. Anything she tried was just going to get rewarded with nothing.
Well, it also shows you that Maria Sharapova is more of a one-hit pony. She just plays one style and one sort of game. Well, if you look at Azarenka, she's champion because of her variety. She takes the ball earlier, she uses more angle, she comes into the net, she used the drop shot today. Sharapova doesn't have those facets to her game, and also on top of that, Azarenka is a better mover than Sharapova. Sharapova has the mind, and we thought from 2-love up that, you know, it was going to be her day, but Azarenka dug deep and mentally showed us that she is a champion now. She's world #1, Grand Slam champion, and now she needs to continue in this vein, but enjoy this moment. This is probably going to be the most memorable moment in her tennis career.
This makes things really interesting, doesn't it, Virginia? Because we now have Azarenka as the new world #1. We're all thinking before this tournament that it was going to be Kvitova.
Well, I think that Kvitova is going to be close on her heels, and Kvitova has variety and can mess her up a little bit, but Sharapova could not do that today.
No, it was absolutely extraordinary, wasn't it? Particularly in view of the way that Azarenka started this, going 2-love down to Sharapova, but she really got a hold of it, didn't she? We'll have the presentation for the new world #1 after this break. Welcome back. Well, if you've just joined us, maybe hoping to see a deciding set in the women's final, well, you've missed an absolute walkover, and it went the way of Victoria Azarenka, winning through in just 82 minutes against the former champion Maria Sharapova. Azarenka winning through 6-3, 6-love. Greg, what was extraordinary was that nervous start from Azarenka. We thought, well, this is going to be over quickly. Well, it was, but not in that direction.
Well, it's normal to be nervous, and that's where Sharapova really had to take advantage. But once she held from 2-love, she really stepped it up a gear, and Sharapova only got one more game. And she deserves to be champion today. She played like a champion. She took it on. She was the boss on the court. She had the more creativity out there. And in these pictures, you can just see the joy. She cannot believe that she came out in a Grand Slam final and did it so impressively. So all credit to Azarenka as we see these wonderful pictures. That's actually her physiotherapist, Jean-Pierre Brouillet, who's worked with her for years, making sure the body is healthy. Because in the beginning of the show, we talked about all those injuries and freak injuries, and she's finally come good and won a major that everybody expected her to do. So well done to her.
Yeah, she's worked very hard on her fitness in between the end of season tournament and the start of this year.
There's no question about that. She made a point of working hard, and she's made a point of trying to stay more relaxed when the tension kicks in. And I mean, now she won the tournament just before, and she won this one, so she hasn't lost a match yet. And she's been winning her matches convincingly. She was just on a streak. Boy, does she hit the ball well when things are going well for her, when she's seeing it like an absolute football today.
And look, it wasn't that long ago when we were talking about Azarenka as a possible potential future champion. Most people were saying, don't think she's really quite got it, certainly probably not up here.
It's so interesting because we were just looking at some of the past champions, and we'd seen that Martina Hingis won the tournament 3 times and then lost 3 times in the final. And she started off when she was 17. But she... Well,
ladies and gentlemen, it's time to commence our women's singles final presentation. But before we do, can I just ask you to put your hands together for all the women that have given us so much fabulous entertainment in the last 2 weeks. It's been quite outstanding. I'm joined on stage by the President of Tennis Australia, Steve Healy, and from ANZ, one of the major sponsors of this fabulous fortnight, Mr. Mike Smith, and also a young lady who knows this court better than most, and I'm sure you'll give her another warm welcome back, Martina Hingis. But to commence official proceedings, it's my pleasure to call to the microphone the President of Tennis Australia, Steve Healy.
Your Excellencies, His Royal Highness, Prime Ministers, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. What a privilege it has been to watch a fantastic performance tonight, and indeed an incredible 2 weeks of competition between the very best female players in the world. There have been moments of great exaltation, despair, high drama, great excitement with some disappointment, but undoubtedly non-stop entertainment and quality tennis throughout the fortnight. More than ever before, the Australian Open and the City of Melbourne has captured the attention of world sport, and in particular watching these amazing athletes display their spectacular talent in this incredible venue. I would like to thank the Victorian Government for their support in even further improving this venue, and in particular our more than 4,000 Tennis Australia staff who have done such a fantastic job in supporting this event and making it such a special one this year. You have all outdone yourselves, and my congratulations and thank you for that. Maria, bad luck tonight, but it's terrific to see you back near the top of women's tennis after a period of injury, and I'm sure the next Grand Slam is not too far away. And Victoria, congratulations on your first Grand Slam win here in Australia at the Australian Open. And to go with it, the #1 ranking in the world from next Monday. Congratulations. And Victoria, we now add your name to some of the legendary names of world tennis on the Daphne Ackhurst Memorial Trophy. Congratulations and well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. And ladies and gentlemen, can I ask you please to also acknowledge our chair umpire for the final, Carolyn Kramer. Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you, Carolyn. Congratulations once again. And so to our runner-up in the 2012 Women's Singles Australian Open Championship. As Steve said, it's great to see her back after the problems she's had with her shoulder, and I'm sure another slam is not too far away. But for the moment, she is the runner-up at this year's Australian Open, and of course it is Maria Sharapova.
Thank you. First of all, the first congratulations goes to Victoria. It is an honor, to play against you. You've earned this title. You've worked so hard for it over the years, and it's a really honor to have your name on that trophy. And yeah, congratulations, and cherish it for as long as you can. As in any sport, you have your good days, you have your tough days, and you have days where, just things don't work out. And today, Victoria was better on so many levels and just played too good. But, as an athlete, to be at the stage, and it all comes down to the last two athletes. And, winner takes it all out of all the players that are in the draw. And, to stand here after, so many years, it's been a few years since I've been back on the stage. And I've had the great moments here. I've had tough losses, and this was another one. But there's no doubt that I will be back and performing in front of all you guys. You mean so much to me. Melbourne has been my home away from home for the last month, and it's been, I couldn't have asked for a better home for a month. And many thanks to my team, my coach, Thomas, Vladimir, Max, and Juan, and my mother and my father, who always believed in me no matter if I played tennis or went to school or whatever I did. And my fiance, I can't wait to see you soon, and all my friends that support me from over the years. I love you. We're going to have so many great moments. And of course, everyone that makes this event happen, all the sponsors and Kia and Jacobs Creek, and anyone that I forgot, and volunteers and drivers, ball kids, umpires, all of you. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to be back.
Well done, Maria. Thank you very much. And welcome back to Melbourne Park. But as Steve mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, there is a new world #1 in women's tennis, and she just happens to be the 2012 Australian Open Women's Singles Champion. Would you please congratulate Victoria Azarenka.
Wow. First, I want to congratulate Maria and thank you for such a kind words. It's been a great 2 weeks. You did really well, and I'm sure we're going to have many more finals we're going to perform in, and I wish you good luck for the rest of the year. I would like to thank my team, Sam, JP, Malin, Suzanne, and John, and you guys been supporting me for so long and believing in me, and it made me realize that I can believe in myself, and I can finally raise this trophy. I want to thank my parents who are watching for sure now, my friends, my boyfriend, and my grandmother, the person who inspires me the most in my life. Бабушка, я тебя люблю. Of course, I would like to thank all the sponsors, Kia, Jacobs Creek, ANZ, for making such an amazing event. I've been loving to coming back every year since I was a junior, and I can't wait to be back next year. I had an amazing month in Australia, and it's a dream come true. Thank you so much. And of course, all the volunteers, all the drivers, I hope you guys enjoyed my donuts. I've been feeding you forever. These 2 weeks, I know you gained weight, but I know it makes you smile every time. And all the ladies in the locker room, the physios, the ball kids, the linesmen, I know we are hard on you sometimes, but without you, we wouldn't be playing out here. And thank you so much. And, of course, for the crowd. I mean, every time I step on this court, yeah, there you go, come on. Heart. Thank you so much. You've been an inspiration, and I can't wait to be back. Thanks again.
Let's hear it once again, ladies and gentlemen, for the #1 player in the world and the Australian Open champion, Victoria Azarenka.
Well done to both players for two very good speeches. A maiden victory speech there in terms of Grand Slams for Victoria Azarenka. She thanked all the right people in just the right way, acknowledged the crowd, and I thought dealt with that very nicely indeed. And also thanked the line judges and the umpires. She said, sometimes we are a little hard on you, but without you guys it wouldn't be possible. So that was not a bad first acceptance speech from Azarenka.
No, she's won a few tournaments though, so she's had
well,
some
I
practice
meant it, yeah, on this big stage though.
No, absolutely. I thought she was going to break down, but good for her she didn't. I mean, great effort. What a good match she played.
But I'd like to ask you one question, Virginia. You've held that trophy actually in Australia. What does this moment feel like? Because you're the only Brit that we know that has done this before.
Yeah, it was pretty thrilling, I have to say. You know, it wasn't as big an event at Kooyong as it is here, but boy, it must be. It's so exhilarating to play tennis and to play a match when you can't do anything wrong. I mean, it's thrilling. Sometimes it's harder to win a match 3 in love than it is to win a match 6-4 in the third, just because you have to concentrate constantly, and it is so thrilling to play that well on a big occasion.
In terms of rankings now then, Victoria Azarenka up to the world #1 as we know. Petra Kvitova retains her #2 spot. Maria Sharapova moves up a place into third, and Caroline Wozniacki is the one who's really paid the price here, slipping down to #4 in the world. Had been #1 going into this tournament.
Well, I think that's the right rankings, if I'm honest with you. I think, you know, Azarenka deserves to be one. She's undefeated this year so far, won every match she's played. She was sensational in this final, and what I hope doesn't happen to her what happened to Ivanovic when she became #1. She won the French Open, and then she just fell apart. But with Azarenka, there seems to be something different there. She's younger, she's got a big game, and she looks really, really motivated, so I'm hoping she continues. Kvitova deserves to be #2. She won Wimbledon last year. She won the end-of-season championships, so those two will be having a rivalry. Sharapova deserves to be 3, but she needs to lift her game in the big matches, because she's lost in the finals of Wimbledon to Kvitova. Now she's lost in the finals of the Australian Open again to Azarenka, and they really haven't been close matches. They've been a little bit one-sided, but it's great to see her doing so well at the moment. And Wozniacki at 4 is probably, if you look at the top 4, that's where she honestly deserves to be at the moment, just because of the Grand Slam results in the past while.
Is this a new era then for women's tennis? Do you think, Virginia, is that what we're just touching on now?
I think what we've really seen in the men's game is that there's been more of a trend towards a transitional game. So instead of just whacking the ball from the baseline, they've had to complement their games with coming in with some drop shots, some approach shots, playing at the net a little bit more. And we're just beginning to see that the old game, which is just corner to corner, the Sharapova game, and the Wozniacki game is not quite holding its own. So we've got Kvitova, who I hope it's a tussle between Kvitova and Azarenka during the year.
That's
because
what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, those are the two who, I mean, Kvitova's got a little bit more variety because she's got all those crazy left-handed serves and forehands. But Azarenka, she was hitting the ball so early, like, you know, just scooping it up. It was hardly letting it bounce. She's a little reluctant to come into the net, but she's such a good doubles player, so as long as she's thinking forward, I think she's going to continue to get better and add a little bit to her serve. Her serve has got better in the last year, and certainly her fitness has improved very much.
Greg, was that match long enough for you to sink your teeth into it a bit?
Well, there was enough, definitely in the analysis of the match. There was enough stuff to look into, because I thought Azarenka was very good today. You know, she was down 2-love early, and this is where she got herself back into the match. You know, she's well known for how well she hits her forehand. Look at the angle she creates coming up here against Sharapova. Look at that slice defense. Sharapova comes here. Here's the forehand cross court, getting her back, and then right here, rockets the forehand up the line. Then she loosened up, and that was very, very keen. We talked about taking the ball early. Look how early she takes this one. And then we talked about moving forward. Moves forward, doesn't give Sharapova any time to get back into the court. But this is what we like from Azarenka, her variety. Look, moving on the baseline. Big forehand up the line there again. A little bit of slice there for a little bit of variety. Great movement again, staying in the rally, absorbing the power from Sharapova. And right here coming up, she's going to start taking initiative in the point. Look at that backhand cross-court. And then lovely drop shot. And then a beautiful lob. And just having those facets in her game allows her to do all those extra things. And then right here, this is really where she took over in the match. Break point. Watch that. Great forehand. Another drop shot again. And then the good volley to the open court. And from there on in, didn't lose another game and just really sailed on. And then using the dimension of the court, early return, cross court. Now watch this forehand. Goodbye. No chance for Sharapova. She just cannot move to get there. And this is the moment she has been waiting for all her life, to get to world #1 and win her first major. And she cannot believe it. Watch this coming up right here. There we go. And there it is.
Fantastic. I mean, she was absolutely dominant, particularly in that second set. I'm wondering, Virginia, has this result actually done the women's game a bit of a favour? I'm not thinking about Azarenka as opposed to Sharapova winning it, but Azarenka as opposed to Kvitova winning it, because we've now got two of the young players with a Grand Slam title to their name.
I think that's the point. I think that's good. I think Kvitova was pretty disappointed. She lost her semi-final to Sharapova, and I mean, the only long match actually that Azarenka had was against Kim Clijsters. So I think it's good. I think they're two really good players. I think it was a good women's tournament. I hope Heather Watson doesn't feel so bad from being beaten 12-1 in the opening round by the eventual champion. You know, that must have been demoralizing for her, but probably not so bad now. We're still looking for a little bit of variety. We've got some great athletes in the women's game. Game is a little bit too predictable still, so love to see a little variation.
Greg, final thought on this match from you and the women's tournament?
Final thought for me is thank goodness for youth coming through. 22 years of age, Azarenka, new world #1, new champion, hopefully new generation of women tennis coming up with more variety. So a very good women's event.
Excellent. Very positive note to finish on.